Maggie here in front of the camera.
And Kay's behind.
Ah, we've got Kay's behind today.
Which again isn't small.
One day, Kay, one day we will be.
Yeah,
Still flight.
One day.
Okay, I'm here today to talk about the Archway flip flaps, which are the next set of dies in our collections. And these are designed to cut into the paper, to provide decorative mats, just to help with your card making and your album and memory book making. So just a little example, Kay's made a beautiful card here and she's used the Archway flip flap. This is the first one, which is this die, and that actually cuts into the card like that, and then she's used the mat inside, which is this one, and then she's used the other die to mat the inside of there. I'll show you them very simply as well. So they're like this. So you've got your decorative paper, you can cut directly into the page. So your flaps open like that. So that would be your actual basic page at the back. Then you have a mat that will cut and fit in there, and you can see you've got a nice, I'll turn it around so it's the right way around. It's got stitched edge detail, and so you've got a nice little border all the way around. And then you also have a die that cuts this piece, these pieces, so they perfectly mat both sides as well, like that. So really, what I would suggest is when you get your dies is cut each one out so you know how it works, because it's not just cutting a flip flap like that. You can use this one. When you've cut that out, don't forget you will have the waist that is like that, so you'll have an open, you could have a really nice open page and then slot something behind for another page. There's lots of different things you can do. We're just going to show you a page now. Okay, so this page here, I'm going to do a central archway. I better? Okay. I've already die cut it here, but I'm going to show you how I lined it up. So we'll take a piece of decorative paper. Okay, and this is the one that is going to cut the flaps. Now most of our flip flap dies, I don't think the very first ones did, but most of them, if you've got 3 notches all together like that, that means it's a fold line. Okay, and if you turn over, you can see there's a fold line.
I'll just hold that in. There you go. Okay.
But these also help you with your alignment, and then you've got your centralising notches there and there, which show you where the central cut is for the flip flap. So lining up, if you've got a glass mat with the measurements on, make sure the base of your page is along a line so it's straight. In this case, we'll just use a ruler. This is 8 by 8, this page. So we know that halfway is 4 inches. So if I want it exactly in the centre, then I'd line it up to the 4 inches there. In fact, if I turn it around, you'll see it better this way, won't you? So put that way. Okay, that's straight along the bottom. So I'd put that one right on the 4-inch mark there. So when I die cut it through the machine, I know it's going to be exactly in the centre. Okay? Right, so I've got my decorative paper. I've carefully lined it up here. Through the die machine.
That's Maggie through my die machine.
Yeah. Oh, I wish it was me. I'd be very thin, wouldn't I? Okay, so that's my...
The die is not that big. Bless it. You bring it closer to me.
How to break your die cutting machine in one easy lesson. Yeah. Okay, so that's cut out like that. So I'm going to stick this down. Now when you fold this, you'll see you have your fold line.
Right, I'll zoom in. Oops, let's get the zoom in.
Perhaps if I put a piece of...
Right, stay exactly where you are, because you can see it then.
Okay, right, so you have your stitch detail there, and right next to it, about 1 millimetre away, is a fold line. Don't go on that fold line, that's just a guideline for that there. You're going to actually just allow it to fold naturally on the stitch detail, like that, okay? Because this is going to have quite a lot of interaction, what I'd recommend with any of your flip flaps dies that you have is when you go to stick it down, you put a line of double-sided tape just along each edge, just to strengthen it, particularly if you're going to add lots of additional elements onto each flap because it makes it heavy and it puts strain on the paper. It's just basic engineering sense really. So we'll pop that one along there, just down there, and this is our 3/8 of an inch score tape, which we're pleased to say we now have. And we'll pop that one on there. Okay, and we'll just give it a little burnish. Okay, and then we're going to stick this one straight down onto here, like that. And you can see I've written myself a little note, magnet. It's just to remind me. We'll take our glue, peel this off here. And don't put any glue obviously on the inside flaps, you just want it on your actual page. Okay, and then you're going to line it up. Show it straight. Okay. So that's stuck down like that. Now you could, if you want, because of the way the flaps are designed, it does actually sit quite nicely on its own without lots of elements in it, but we are going to add a magnet. And what I'm going to do for my closure is actually use one of our new brad flaps, and I've actually die cut 2 and I've stuck them back to back, and I have a magnet in the middle. Okay, so that is going to be my closure there. So I'm going to stick that down now. I'm going to line it up with the edge. And stick this one first. And I'm choosing not to use brads in mine this time, so that's there like that. And then I need to put another magnet on. So, which has just gone flying. Thank you, Kay. So I'm going to use, Kay will be very pleased to know, I'm going to use a mag pop that I've die cut out. This is actually one of the ones from the dumbbell and swivel set, but we have got the other mag pop dies that are a little bit larger. Hold that over that way, let my magnet drop on top. Just going to move that down a bit. It's alright, I'm just trying to get it centralised in the mag pop. Still not enough. That's better. Okay, so that's there. So fold that over, lift up, and then you're going to burnish that one down. Okay, that's it. Okay, so just burnish that down well. You would be better with one of the bigger ones, I think, but this is fine. I'm using a mag pop. Okay, right, so that's stuck down there, so that's like that, and the idea is that will be on there like that. Okay, so then the advantage of these dies, now I need my mat to fit in here, so that's going to be this die. So then use your decorative paper. You could just die cut a plain mat and put it in, and then you could have a little stamp there, put a photo in there, or you can go through and you can look at your decorative paper you've got, pick out an element of something that you might like in there, and die cut it to fit. There's so much you can do with your decorative papers with these dies. So here's one I die cut. Just been through the machine, and that one I'm just going to stick in there like that. And I quite like this one because you can write a little note in there if you want. You could even put a little tiny picture in. So we're just going to stick this one in here, and normally I would ink the edges as well because I just like the finish, but for time we'll just pop this on here. So that one's going to go on there like that. Just line it up so it's nice and straight. Am I still in the middle?
Yes, yeah, you are.
Okay, right, okay, so that's on there. And then, make sure that's stuck. Right, so we're going to just close this for a minute. We're going to get our, this is the one I used this time. I used this die. And again, you can choose how you want to cut in. You might want that one there. So that's quite nice because when it sticks, you've got the split element of the picture, which you can see here. So this is the two pieces together, and then they're going to go on the front of my window. one's going to go on there. And you can see it's not straight, just wiggle that a bit. And again, you could use some artist tack to stick all these if you wanted to.
Yeah, so it stopped anything buckling and
Yeah.
with wet. So that's the advantage of artist tack, is it's a dry adhesive as well.
But our bookbinding glue is fab. I'll just pop that there. Okay. So now we need the inside ones. Peel our double-sided tape off. I just like this because it gives you more. Right, don't stick your double-sided tape right to the edge. If you have, just push it down with your nail a little bit. You just show you what I mean, or with your tool, because that bit of, you're going to have your border, so you don't want that bit of tape showing and sticking. So just pull it down a little bit. Just move it down. That's it. And then you can stick that one on there. One, and the same for the other side. Okay, so there, like that. And then I want something on the front. So with your brad closures, you get different mats and layers to go with it. So we'll pop this one on, which matches obviously the background paper, and this is mounted on artist tack, so we'll put that there. And then this is my other one, which is tiny, but that is going to stick on there like that. So I move that out of the way. Let's just see, where did I put the stamps? Let's see if we've got one. These are our journal stamps. So again, I'm just lining up to make sure I'm sticking it the right way. It's going to be like that. So I want a little tiny lift will fit on there, or shall we'll have open. Okay, so I'm using my mitre tool because that's got. Now I'm using my tag topper tool because that's got a line on it, and I can make sure that it's straight. Now these stamps are small. Okay, so just give it a little tap. And then when you're stamping with it, if you want to just test it first, just to get the feel of it. Okay, so the stamps quite clearly, but don't press too hard. If you press too hard, you'll squish the letters. Can you see what I mean?
Yeah,
well, see it's more squished.
Don't.
Yeah, so that's unsquished. That's squished. Okay. And then I've moved that a bit. Okay, so then we'll put this one on here. This is sticky because it's on artist tack, and we'll just go lightly on there like that.
Would you block that now because it's
yes, because it's versifying Claire and it takes a while to dry. Okay, or you can just leave it and then use it later on once it's dried. Okay, and then that will go on there. That'll go on there, and that will go on there. And that's a bit of artist tack, you can see there. So I'm not going to rub that artist tack off or burnish it until I'm 100% sure that the ink is dry. Okay, so that's your archway.